What's up, guys? So in the end of finishing up painting the splitter, I'm going to start working on the next video today. And what that is, we are going to put on, this is an eBay wing that I picked up for, I believe, $31, $32 shipped. Has some funky looking little end plates that I don't really care for. Of course, I needed the mounting brackets. And I picked up some hardware myself, flat panel, so I can make some different end plates and the base brackets. The reason being, this particular wing mount, this is a generic one. It normally goes on a trunk, and it would, see how it has this little edge? It would go onto the edge of the trunk, you would mount it. Obviously the CRX, they don't face directly forward. They're both facing to the left and to the right a little bit. So that's why I bought this L-beam steel. So what I'm going to do is mount the brackets here instead. I'm going to get this wing assembled. I want to see what it looks like assembled before I start doing any sort of customizing. Okay, so I roughly got it put together. Everything's a little loose still. I did tighten up the rear ones just a little so I can kind of get it sitting in the same angle. Put the end plates on, just see what it looks like. I'm going to throw it up on the car and kind of get an idea of how it looks sitting there. So maybe, yeah, that's actually a good spot there. What I'm going to do is make the mounts for the trunk. And then from there I can go about adjusting, if I want to push. I think the angle of it looks really nice too. Maybe I could even move this a little bit flatter, the wing, but right there it looks like it's pretty solid. That's kind of a good idea of how it looks by itself. I think the wing mounts will be easy to make for the brackets there, and then just cutting the end plates. These end plates just lately look cheesy. I do not like the way these look at all. Some larger ones will look a lot nicer. I'm not sure what kind of shape I'll go with. Probably just something similar to my PCI wing. Those end plates look really, really nice. And what I did here, I measured off where I want to mount it. I'm going to actually make these, I'm going to lift it a little bit. That way I'm creating its own holes. I want it to be as tight as possible. And then it'll give it a little bit, there we go, have a little bit more height. If I want to change it, of course I could always slide it down, drill a couple more holes. But I think it's going to be perfect for the way I want to try setting it up. And then I'm going to cut off some of the remaining metal there so it looks clean. And then I'm going to paint that bracket black also. And here is my wing mount, guys. Pretty simple. Wasn't too difficult. See, now I can go, I actually was gonna mount it on the inside before, but I think it looks way cleaner being on the outside of it, especially when I paint it black and you won't be able to see any of these holes on it. I was gonna get a solid piece, but I like the fact that this already had like the holes there, and it made it easier for me to drill into the trunk. It just looks really symmetrical as well, so that's why I got this piece that already had the drilled holes. But that looked great. I think that's going to be perfect fit. And all I gotta do is replicate the other side. Let's go drill some holes in the trunk of the CRX. Alright, so I got the mounts finished up, measured them. They're both exactly 3.5 inches from the edge of the hatch to the base of the back of the base. Got the holes drilled there. I also didn't show you, but when I was, let me move all this junk. When I was deciding on the spot, I did it where there's easy access to the holes. See, on this side right there, I can easily put the nut. I didn't want to have it like behind here or over here. If I put it further out on this side, you have this piece of metal on this hatch. So if you see right here, still very easy access to both holes, just to make it much easier to mount. I know it's a little flexible back here still, but I think it should be okay. It's relatively sturdy, and that's why I made the holes as small as possible, just to fit this particular kind of hardware. And here, I'm just kind of traced out those end plates. I'm just gonna go ahead and stick with these for now. If I decide to change it, I can go buy this. It's relatively inexpensive. I believe it was like 10, 12 bucks at the hardware store. So I can always change up the end plates if I don't like these, and I'll still have an extra set of these laying around. So I cut these out, round off the corners, and get these mounted. I got both wing mounts on. Now I'm going to get the wing mounted, that way I can drill the holes for the end plates. Then once I'm happy with all the fitment, I can go ahead and remove the wing as one piece by just removing these bolts right here. And then I can go ahead and paint these brackets and the end plates. So there's a rough guesstimate. I was measuring the wing. It's 53 inches long. So you're looking at 26.5 inches. I measured it, and then I was eyeballing it right to the center of the H logo. Just trying to get it. It looks pretty close right here in the end. It's like right in the middle of the rear window. Same with this one. Honestly, looking at it, like eyeballing, I think it'll be perfectly fine, even if it's off 1/4 inch somewhere. You can always adjust it. And that's what I like about this wing. You can put it like whichever way you want. See how it has this little track? So now what I can do, I just tighten up these 4 screws right here. And what I'm going to do is probably drop a little bit of Loctite in them and then screw them in, and that holds it in this position. So that way it's exactly where I want it. And then I can tighten all these down all the way. I left everything just a little loose. That way I could get it moved around where I wanted it, and then I can go ahead and tighten it once I'm happy with the position. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with the angle. I didn't want it sticking too far down. That way it's not a lot of adjustability from there. I can always angle it up a little bit more. I'm going to work on getting these end plates put on now. And what I did here for the second hole, I made it a little bit longer. That way if I decide on dropping the edge of the wing, I can move it a little bit. It gives me a little bit of adjustability if, say, we're going to tilt this back and we want to move this back up. And here's a look with the end plates installed. I like them. I like how they came out. I like the profile on the back of the CRX. I think it looks really sharp. The size of the end plates makes the wing look a lot better. These little like angular ones, they did not do anything for it at all. Now, I'm going to go ahead and pull off the wing, and honestly, yeah, I'm going to pull it off from the base. That way everything else is set. And I'm going to go ahead and paint the brackets and paint the end plates. Then we'll get it installed, and I'll give you a final look at the CRX with the wing on. Here's that final look of the wing. I got the bases both painted. I added some Password JDM fender hardware. I think it looks a little bit better like that. And it's not a bad looking wing for the price that I paid and the easy modifications that I did to add the brackets and the end plates. I'm a big fan. I like how it looks. CRX looks really cool with the splitter now. Trying to make this car a little bit more track oriented, but also maintain the whole budget aspect of this car. Here's a little profile from the front. Alright guys, so I rolled out my hatch. I just wanted to get an idea, not necessarily an idea, I just wanted to look at the wings side by side. Of course I got the PCI wing on my hatchback, eBay setup on Route 49. You can see the end plates. You can see this one here, and then how I kind of replicated it. I like the end plates. Those look cool like that. I think it's a great way to mimic an already really nice looking wing setup. Here's a shot from the passenger side. You can see the PCI and the eBay. Now I'm curious, like, how functional will it be? It's actually, like, it's on here pretty sturdy. Of course it moves because it's attached to the metal on here. It's not chassis mounted, but this thing's pretty darn sturdy on there. Whereas this one as well, there's more, I think, lateral movement in this one. You can see it here. That's because you have these huge mounting plates, which, you know, it might be beneficial, like to make some sort of cross brace, like how they use the rods for the splitters. I don't know what they're called, but you kind of tighten them by spinning them. There might be something to do there, but obviously the wing is bigger. It's fiberglass. That one is metal over there. But, you know, for the price that I built that wing for, I bought it on eBay back in February. Either late February or early March for, it was like $32, like 31 and change. I looked just the other day before I finished making this video. They're between $50 and $60 now. And I don't see a black one, I just see an aluminum one, but you could always paint it. So the price, maybe the price just went up. Maybe they were selling when they were so inexpensive, I'm not sure. And then the end plates, I actually already had the metal, but that piece of metal was only about $20. And then this, I think, was like $12 for that L-beam, which I have a ton left over, so I could use it for whatever else. So I probably spent about $55 on this wing and just a little bit of time in the afternoon making it. And if you're going to look at that as something compared to this one, I spent $590 for from JHP USA. Now, I'm not knocking PCI at all. I think they make fantastic products. I love their the wings that they make for all the chassis, the side skirts like on Ray's car over there. But you know, with keeping the theme of the budget CRX, I thought it would be cool to attempt to make a wing of some sort. And I am very pleasantly surprised. I love the way it came out. It looks really cool on the CRX now, and just the whole setup of it looks really, really sharp. And earlier I shared with you I swapped out those 9091 tails. These mirrors I originally used to have on my 88 CRX, and I just swapped over to amber corners for now. I just wanted to mix up the look a little bit and just change it up for the moment. And so thanks for following along today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you guys think of the wing. I'm a huge fan. It really didn't hurt my pockets one bit, and you know, I'm all about trying to work on budget themed cars because not all of us have a ton of money to spend on everything. You know, I'm a big supporter of trying to do things with less money. Save your money, do it yourself. And you know, this garage, it didn't pay for itself. I saved a bunch of money over years, and I'm not talking like 1 or 2 years. I had saved up for that for quite a long time, and it was a goal of ours once we moved. So you know, something like that, spending $50 on a wing compared to $600 sometimes can go a long way in terms of making your car better in other areas, which I'm all about. So I hope you guys enjoyed checking out the CRX over the last couple of videos, and I'm not sure what we're going to move on to next, but we'll see you guys soon. And I almost forgot to add, and I know some of you may ask, what's up with the track car and the B20? And there's not really anything up with the track car. I rolled the damn thing out here out of the garage just so I can get some footage of it next to the CRX. And I haven't touched it. I haven't had the motivation to really dig into it and pull the motor. With everything else going on that happened, when this motor kind of gave out on me, started knocking, I had a baby 2 months later, and so it just wasn't convenient, and I just kind of lost a little focus and started working on other stuff like Ray's car, the CRX. I've been working on that hatchback over there a little bit. And I think that's the beauty of it. Like, I can get to this when I get to it. I'll just leave it in my garage, and I want to get another B20. I want to get the exact same setup, no other mods, and I want to get the damn thing tuned like I should have did in the first place, so we could have seen what kind of power gains it made over the original cam. So hope you guys stick around for that. I don't know if it'll happen this year. Maybe later in the summer or the fall I can actually start working on this. But once I get a chance to do that, I'll definitely keep you guys updated, and you'll see the progress on my channel. And lastly, here is a side profile of it. Let me know what you guys think of my budget wing setup on the CRX. I'm a big fan. It wasn't really expensive, didn't take too long to get it set up. I'm not gonna lie, I really enjoy it. I love the way it looks. I think it's a great little addition to this budget-friendly track car. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you soon.